Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're going to start our playthrough of Direwild. Hope you guys are excited. Sorry this took a little bit longer to get out. Forgot about Thanksgiving. Lots of family stuff, so a little delayed, but let's jump in. The game comes with a really nice player aid, and you'll have 4 of these, 1 for each player. It is double-sided. On the other side of the board, it shows you a little bit about all the different icons you'll see in the game. But this side here shows us our turn structure. We'll start by doing the game phase. So our first step is to move counters 1 space. We're always moving counters towards 0. Now, what do I mean by counters? For example, here we have Vale. Vale's stamina right now is 0. Let's say his stamina was at 2. At the beginning of the round, this would move down to 1. Let's say he was at -2. Well, then it would move up towards 0. This will be the case also with Karn and with all minions. But since we all start out at 0, that's not going to do anything this first round. Then what we do is we reveal the top AI card. We'll grab that top AI card, give it a flip. Okay, this top icon, what this means is that Karn will move 1 space up on his hunting track. He'll take that first step right here. If ever he's on his altar here, when you draw that, he will spawn onto the board, and you'll always be moving him 1 space each round. The second step we see here is the rage icon. That means that all face-up enemies will increase their stamina by 1. Well, none of the minions are face-up, but Karn is face-up. Even though he's not on the board, his rage will increase by 1. He'll move from a 0 to a 1. Next, all enemies will move 5 spaces, and if they can reach the priority 1 or the first player, they will even disengage with other heroes to move and engage with player 1. That's what this priority movement is. Not all movement will be priority, but this one we do have priority. However, we're not even on the board. The staging area is not even considered on the board, so we can just ignore this priority for right now. No priority at all. Also, all of our minions are currently not active. When you're not active, you won't be actively going towards the specific player that we have here, even though we have priority movement. Once a minion gets flipped face up, then it will start doing priority. So we'll just have each minion move 5 spaces. We always start with the minion on the farthest left, so red all the way to black, but since we're playing 2-player, we'll just do red and blue, and then Karn would move. Karn's not on the board, so it's just going to be the 2 minions that are currently on the board, and they'll move 5 spaces. You'll see on the board that there are footprint tracks on the board. Minions use those footprint tracks when they are inactive. Once they become active, they will move wherever they need to be able to engage with you. So starting with the first minion, we'll grab the red one. He'll move 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the other thing to note here. Everyone always moves orthogonally. There is no diagonal movement in this game, and there's no diagonal attacking in this game. You have to be orthogonal to be able to attack. That even includes flying. Now the green minion will move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Finally, we have a note down at the bottom that says if Karn is on the board, we have to remove 1 of our fatal wounds and move it into the regular wound pile. Don't forget, that is our timer. If at the end of a round we have no fatal wounds left in their fatal wound stack, we lose the game. Our next step, we get to choose turn order. So we have a 1-player and a 2-player for this game. We can decide each round who wants to be first and who wants to be second. I think I'm going to have Vale be first player, so I'll give him the first player token. That means Luna will be a second player. From how I understand this, you have to decide that before you draw your cards. You might want to look at, okay, do you want to buy something in the wilds first? Or, hey, if I go first, maybe I can push that minion away from you so you don't have to disengage. Yeah, so there's a lot of tactical decisions to be made just with deciding turn order. Now we'll go ahead and have both players draw their 5 cards. Here we have our starting decks of 10 cards. I just have these magic to denote whose deck is whose. So this is Vale's deck. We'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, draw 5. And we have a bunch of kittens and a couple puppies. For Luna, we'll grab hers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she has, both of her Ojin penguins, a couple puppies, and a kitten. Now we move to what's called the summon phase. Each of us will play all of our cards. Generally, you'll do this in turn order. I will be doing it in turn order. It's easier for solo. Then we'll move to the charm phase. We'll spend our charm, and then we'll finally build a creature. Then we'll move to the adventure phase. So we can see here with Vale, Vale only has 3 charm. Puppies aren't worth any charm, so we have 3 money to spend in the wilds. With our 3 charm, we could burn one of these creatures in the wilds, but I am kind of thinking of making an insect deck since there's so many insects here. However, Vale already has 1 reptile, and there's a reptile out on the board. That is our Eldivar Chameleon. So I think he's going to purchase the Eldivar Chameleon. It costs 3, so that will go directly into his discard pile. If he could have paid 1 more, we could have placed that directly on top of his deck. Now we immediately replace that with this Toten Jackalope, and we reveal our next card, which is a Hui Patui. I love that card. Love that name. For Luna, she has a little bit more going on because she has both of her special ability cards, her penguins. It says if you're not adjacent to a minion, you may discard a card to draw a card. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to discard a puppy to draw this card. We get another kitten. I'm going to discard this puppy to draw another card. We get another puppy. I was hoping for some more money. But that's actually okay. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 money for this round. With 4 money, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab both of these gear bugs. They both cost 2, so I'll get both of these. They both go to my discard pile, and we replace with Hui Patui, and we have a Fieldwood Frog. Great, it's another reptile. And then we'll reveal the top card of our basic creature deck, and we have a Fogmount Parrot. So now the fun part of the game. We get to build our own creatures. Sweet. So we get to decide which of our creatures we want to make as our main creature. So I did a puppy for Vale, and I did the Ojin penguin for Luna. We then take all of our other creatures and we augment. So we flip them upside down and add them above that specific creature. Now you can see here there are no kittens here. That's just because kittens give no additional augment. So I could put them in there for fun, but that's not worth it. So this puppy right now has a total of 2 attack. 1 from this hyper puppy that he has behind him, and 1 from here, so 2. This penguin, though, has 2, 3, 4 attack, and he's an awkward, loyal Ojin penguin versus a hyper puppy. So, as you can see, not very strong, but these are our creatures we'll have for this round. Finally, we're going to move to the adventure phase. During the adventure phase, you first can move, then you can battle, and then you discard your specific creature. How do you know how much movement you have? Nice and easy. Your hero movement is a base of 3, but a lot of times creatures will adjust that. You also can always lose 1 stamina to get an additional +1 movement. So because at the end of each round we'll go back to 0, a lot of times at that beginning it might be useful to use 1 extra stamina to maybe be able to collect a treasure. So we'll start with Vale. Vale will go ahead and take 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. Now you'll see I walked right by that minion. It does not make the minion active unless I end my movement next to them. Since I've ended my movement on a treasure, I get to draw a treasure card. Now, I could now attack if I was orthogonally adjacent to a minion, but I'm not. So I'm not going to attack. All I'm going to do is grab a treasure, and that's the end of my adventure phase for Vale. You have to remove the treasure token when you pick up a treasure, so no one else can grab a treasure there. We have the Scroll of Attack. After a hero rolls a die in battle, you may discard this card to have them gain +1 attack. Cool. Now it's Luna's turn, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to have her lose 1 stamina so she can move a total of 4 spaces. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and collect this treasure. We'll remove the token from the board, and we will draw the Omni Mana Potion. Destroy this card to gain 1 magic and have another hero gain 1 magic. Ooh, that's super nice. I could do that right now, and I think I'm going to. So each of our characters will now have 3 active magic. We will, though, because we did that extra movement, push our stamina down to -1. After that, we have completed the first round of Direwild. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's jump into the next one right away. So what we have here, move counters. The only counters that we have out right now that are moving is Karn. Karn will move down to 0, and also Luna will move up to 0. Then let's go ahead and draw an AI card. Let's go ahead now and flip the next enemy AI card. And, oh, great. Okay, first of all, Karn moves, which is normal. But second of all, the first player, which right now is Vale, has been making way too much noise. And the first minion to the farthest of the left wakes up, becomes active. Then both of the minions, or I shouldn't say both, any of the enemies that are active will now try and prioritize player 2, which currently is Luna. And finally, if Karn was on the board, we would remove 1 fatal wound, but he's not, so we're okay there. First, we'll move Karn up. Next, we will reveal this minion. And we have a Brood Queen. Ugh. Brood Queen here has a total of 3 health, attacks for 7, so we have to get higher than 7 if we want to damage her. She can attack flying heroes. Normally that won't happen, but she can, so we have to remember that. When she's damaged, she has Spiderlings hatch and attack. All adjacent heroes have to roll a d6. 1 through a 3, the Spiderlings do 1 poison to you, keep fighting and roll again. 4 through a 6, you stop those Spiderlings. Now we know the enemy AI has the minions targeting the second player. That's Luna right here. So here we have the Brood Queen. She is within 2 spaces of engaging Luna, so she's going to do that. However, how do we know if she's going to go 1, 2 or 1, 2? Well, what we do is we look at the priority numbers here on the board. As you can see, the number 1 is on this side, so that means they'll always go to the right first before going down, before going to the left, before going up. So what the Brood Queen will do is go 1, 2. She won't go up here because that's number 4. That would be her last option. Her first option is to come here and engage Luna from behind. Now, what's a little different about this game than what you might be used to is the enemy doesn't actually attack us right now. We will now activate. If we can't do a damage to the Brood Queen will then give us a fatal wound. The inactive minion is still going to move, just moving 4 along the footpath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Based on how the board state looks, I think Vale makes the most sense to be first player. So we'll keep him at player 1, and we'll have Luna as player 2. Vale will go ahead and just grab the 5 that he had before. He's got his 2 salamanders, which is nice. And then Luna only has 3 cards left because of her special ability. So we'll grab her deck. I've already shuffled it up. We'll grab the remaining 2, and we have a Gearbug and Ojin Penguin. For Vale's turn, we're going to go ahead and play all of these cards. Now, the Kiln Salamander has an ability that says you may distract a minion. I'll show you how that works in just a second. I do want you to understand that technically I should be playing these down individually and then activating them. But it's just easier on camera to lay them all down. Whenever you distract a minion, what you do is you reduce their rage. So right now, the rage is at 0. We would push this down to -1 for that first distraction. But I actually have 2 salamanders, so they're both going to that Brood Queen and pushing her all the way down to the second -1. Now you can see, how these boxes are bigger and these 2 are smaller? If the Brood Queen was right here and I tried to distract her, she can never be distracted below that -1. The only way you can get her to a -2 or a -3 is either by poisoning her or pushing her into something like a wall or another minion or heck, even another hero. Now, before we purchase anything from the wilds, we do have both players technically play all their cards, and that's important because of this Gearbug. We play this Gearbug that has a gift effect. Have another player discard a card from their hand or in play. They may then draw a card and immediately play it. This means that Vale can discard this puppy that he has. Now he has to shuffle his whole deck, so let me shuffle it quick back together, and then we'll draw a new card, and we have another puppy. It didn't even matter, but sometimes that can be really useful. Then we'll play our Ojin Penguin. Unfortunately, we are adjacent to a minion, so we can't use that ability. And we have 3 wonderful kittens. So we both have a total of 4 purchasing power. With Vale's 4 charm, he's going to go ahead and get this Fellwood Frog, but he's going to pay 1 additional charm so he can put this on top of his deck. Has an awesome ability, and he really wants to be able to use it. So that will be 3 charm. His 4th one, he's going to take one of these locked cards from the advanced creatures and take it off of the advanced creature deck. So hopefully we can soon get those advanced creatures out. Then we'll replace that with the Fogmount Parrot, and then the new creature that we have on top of the deck, we have an Iron Crown Raptor. For Luna's turn, we're going to spend 4 for this Legion Wasp. This Legion Wasp looks awesome, especially with an insect deck, but we're paying 1 extra to put it on top of our deck. We'll then place that Iron Raptor here, and we'll draw the top card of the basic deck, and we have a Ridgeback Ram. Vale has now created a hyper slippery salamander, and Luna has created an awkward Gearbug. So this Gearbug has 4 attack, and the salamander has 4 attack, but you see this? We have +1 movement for Vale. With Vale's 4 movement, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and come right next to this minion, and he is going to attack. Vale has a little bit of a venomous type of personality. He can deal 1 point of poison to an enemy before you battle him. So he's going to do that. That's going to push the Brood Queen to -2. That means instead of being of a 7, she only is a 5. Vale's Kiln Salamander has a total of 4 attack. So now we're going to do a battle. This is the first time you're seeing a battle. Right now we're down 4 to 5. But we get to roll a d3 and add that to our total attack of our minion. That's kind of the attack of our specific hero. But we have to beat. We just can't even make it equal. We actually have to beat the enemy's number. So right now we have to get a 2 or higher to succeed. A 2 or higher on a d6, feeling good about that. And we rolled a 1. So right now it's 5 to 5. So technically we would lose and we would take a fatal wound. But we do have our scroll of attack. After a hero rolls a die in a battle, you may destroy this card to give them +1 attack. That means we attacked for 6 compared to the 5 of the Brood Queen. And you can see how I got the 5 by the 7 -2 gives us the 5 that we needed to beat. So now what we do is we take one of our inactive magic crystals and we place it on the Brood Queen. When we have damage equal to the health of a minion, the minion's toast. Now, if you ever beat the minion at 5 or more higher than what their base attack value is, you would do critical damage and you do a 2nd point of damage. But that 2nd point of damage can be taken from anybody's magic inactive pools. So we could have put Luna's on there too, which is pretty sweet. For now, we have to do this when damaged. So we'll have each of our characters roll a d6, and depending on how many 1 through 3s we get, they get poisoned. One more item I'd like to mention before I start rolling. If that minion had not been initially distracted, if we had won or lost the battle, they get distracted. But we are already past that 2nd spot for distraction, so the Brood Queen cannot get distracted more. Okay, we're looking for a 4 through a 6. And that's a 1. So that means Vale goes down to -1. And we're going to have to reroll again. And we get a 2. So now he's at -2. Oh my goodness. And we'll roll a 3rd one, and it's a 3. That puts him at -3. Oh my gosh. And we'll roll another one. That's, okay, the most he can be is at -3. We're just having a hard time with these spiders. There we go. Okay, Luna. This is much more important because Luna is going next, and I really don't want her to take wounds, but she might have to. Let's see. She rolls trying to get a 4 or higher. Oh my gosh, that's a 4. We're good. So now I'm going to show you how magic is helpful. Vale is going to help out Luna. He is going to use one of his active magic. So we're going to move that into his inactive magic pool, and it allows a hero to disengage for free. Normally we'd have to take wounds for that. We won't have to. Don't forget that Luna herself is a Wind Rider, and that means that she is flight. So she can attack at a range of 1 right now. Normally, disengaging would cause a fatal wound, but we will not have to worry about that. Instead, she's just going to take a step back, and she is going to attack as well. Don't forget, Luna has a gear bug for 4 attack, and we have to get higher than 5. I'm feeling good about this. Maybe? Yes! Yes, I am. That is a 3. That'll work. That means we get to place a point of damage on the Brood Queen here for Luna. And now this when damaged effect has no effect on her because she's not adjacent. It says here, all adjacent heroes. So technically Vale would have to do this, but he's already at -3, so I'm not going to keep rolling. Doesn't make a difference. Well, that Salamander and Gearbug certainly helped us. That will end our 2nd round. We'll now discard, and then we'll start with the next round, moving counters. For moving our counters, first thing we'll do is we'll move Vale up to -2. And our damaged Brood Queen will move up to -1. We'll then go ahead and reveal an enemy AI card. We'll have Karn move up the track and just 2 general movement. That means that the enemy that's engaged with Vale right now won't move, but the inactive minion will still move 2 spaces. Karn is getting close to that altar. The 2 movement for our inactive minion, 1, 2. Still has no idea where we are. Although it may look like it might be better to have Luna be first player, I think I'm still going to keep Vale as the first player, and that's because of his iocane powder. He can poison that Brood Queen to make it almost simple for Luna to take him out. I mean, just assumes what, depends upon what she draws, of course, but I still think that we should make Vale first player. So Vale will go ahead and grab 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, what does he have? Oh man, he just has the Fellwood frog and some kittens and a dog. Luna, on the other hand, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll have another Ojin penguin and a Legion wasp. Looking here for Vale, unfortunately, reading this ability, you have to have an insect in your discard pile. Totally misread that. That's the disadvantage of doing this on camera. Oh well, we'll deal with it. We do not have an insect in our discard pile, so we cannot draw. But that does give us 1, 2, 3, 4 buying power, and we have 1 puppy. For Luna, we'll go ahead and play our Ojin penguin. We're able to discard a card. I think I'm going to discard this kitten, just because I'm looking for firepower here. And we get to reveal the top card and put it into our hand, and we have a Gearbug. Ooh, that's actually really nice, because we can play the Gearbug. That's going to allow Vale to discard a card that he's played. So he's going to discard this puppy, and he will draw a new card, and he has an Eldvar Chameleon. Ooh, okay, we'll get back to that in a second. That's a great card. Okay, so we have our 2 creatures here. We then have our Legion Wasp, and we have 2 puppies. Now, when Vale played this Eldvar Chameleon, he could have replaced this card with a 0 through 5 card in any player's discard, and that's a cost value. And all of the starting cards are cost 0, just so you know. So 0 to 5, that's pretty good. However, this guy attacks for 3 on his own, so I actually don't think I'm going to do anything with that. I'm going to leave him. You don't have to do this ability, but you have to do it during this when you're initially playing all the cards. You can't do it later. This does mean Vale has a total of 5 charm that he can use. With our 5 charm, I think we're going to get this Shadow Pine Wisp. It is an insect, but it has a pretty sweet ability, and we're going to spend the additional charm, so that's 3, to put it on top of our deck. Then we'll move this over here, and we'll reveal our next one, and we have a reptile. Oh, that's what we want. So I think what we're going to do next is we had a total of how many? 4 charm? Nope, that's right. We had a 5 charm. So we're going to spend the remaining 2 that we have to get rid of 2 locks. We almost have that advanced creature deck ready. Luna only has 2 charm, so she's going to go ahead and get this pinback dragonfly. And we'll replace that with the lunar oxtoltl. I don't know how to say that. And we'll flip over a pike caterpillar. Ooh, that's another insect. Now, you guys, is when we curse my decision to have Vale go first. Look at Luna's creature. We have a wild, loyal, awkward cyborg Legion Wasp versus just a leaping chameleon. So this chameleon can attack for a total of 4 and has 1 what's called pushback. What that means, anything that you see, if it's ever in one of these green squares, that means if you successfully hit the enemy, you get that ability. And that's a pushback. You push that minion away from you. That's how you can push them into each other, push them into a wall. Yeah, awesome. Over here on Luna's side, though, we have 3 attack plus X, where X is the insect augments. Well, we have, let's see, I think there's 1, right? Puppy, puppy, bird, insect. So this is a 4 attack to start with, plus 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this can take out that Brood Queen, no problem. Unfortunately, Vale goes first because I picked him as first player. See, this is where I made a tactical error, and it is what it is. Can't do much about it. What I can do as Vale is be sneaky, and I am going to do that. I'm going to use 1 of my active magic. I only have 1 left, but I can disengage now for free. I don't want to take wounds if I don't have to. Now, what I'd love to do is run for that treasure up there. Here's the thing. We have a minion way down here, and it's going to be hard to get to him, and Karn is going to get on the board in 1, 2, 3 more rounds. Do I want to take that chance? Those treasure cards can be so helpful. Oh, what the heck? He's a sneak, right? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to use any of my additional stamina to move farther. I'm already at a -2. I want that to slowly heal up. That's the end of Vale's activation. Luna's now going to go, and she is going to attack. She has 1 automatic range because of her special ability. That means she can attack with a total of 9 attack, which is already higher than the Brood Queen's attack. So she automatically takes the Brood Queen out. We'll place the 3rd point of damage here. Now, there are no heroes adjacent, so we don't have to worry about the when damaged, and the Brood Queen is toast. The magic on these cards now will go to the heroes as active magic. So Luna has 5 active magic. I think we got to start using her magic. That means we have ended the round. Let's go ahead and discard, and then we'll move counters, which will just be for Vale, really. Let's go ahead and move those counters. So now Vale is only at a -1. We'll then draw an AI card, and let's see. Oh, still that minion does not wake up. That is a really idle minion. Thank goodness Vale is so quiet. So we'll move Karn up. He'll move 4 spaces. Karn will still not be on the board, so we do not have to worry about our fatal wounds. Karn is slowly finding his temple. This is not good. Let's go ahead and move that minion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and keep Vale as first player just because there is a card out there that he wants to buy. So let's make sure we can buy it and maybe do some refreshing to see if we can find something for Luna. I need more insects. We'll start with Vale. He's got 2 cards in his deck. He's got the Snow Pine Wisp and the Puppy. And then we have shuffled his discard pile so he gets 3 more of these. And he's got a Kitten, his Salamander, and a Fellwood Frog. Luna, on the other hand, has a Puppy and a Kitten. Ugh. And then 1, 2, 3. 3 more. Another kitten, and a penguin. The first card Vale is going to play is his Shadow Pine Wisp. You may destroy this card. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, gain a treasure and draw a card. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So we'll destroy that. I'll just remove that from the game. We then get to draw another card. Let's see. Oh, it's a puppy. But we also gain a treasure. Okay, let's see what we've got. We have the Ketchup Potion. Pick the player with, in your opinion, the weakest deck. They put either 1 advanced creature or 2 common creatures from the wilds into their discard. Then they are required to thank you profusely. I love that card. Love that card. Okay, so Vale's going to have that. I think we're going to wait to do that because there's nothing great in the wilds. But wow, that is one heck of a powerful card. I don't even know who has a worse deck. I think Vale actually does. With the rest of the cards that Vale has in his hand, he could draw a card if it was an insect, but he has a reptile. Doesn't work. He could distract a minion, but that minion is not active, so that's not going to work, and he has a puppy. So he just has $3. For Luna, 3 kittens, a puppy, and a penguin. We're going to use the penguin, discard the puppy, draw another card. Oh, we've got a gear bug. Okay, that's a gift. So what we can do, we'll allow, we'll allow Vale. He'll discard this puppy because we're not going to be attacking. And he'll draw another card, and he has a kitten. Okay, so now he has 4 money. That's nice. And we actually have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 money as well. With Vale's 4 money, we're going to go ahead and spend 2 to get this Lunar Oxtal Toll, and then it'll go into his discard pile. We then will replace with this Caterpillar. We'll then spend the 3rd to get rid of this advanced creature. Oh, and I should reveal the common creature deck, the next card. We have a Pepple Crow, but now we can reveal the first advanced creature, and we have a Bigsby Dodo. You may destroy a card in your discard. Ooh, and 2 money. Okay, cool. We have 1 more dollar, and I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of this Totem Jackalope. We're going to discard that so that we can put out this Bigsby Dodo out into the wilds. And we get to reveal another one, and we have a Vanguard Griffin. Sweet. For Luna's turn, I think we're going to go ahead and get the Pike Caterpillar. That's going to cost us 2 plus 1 because we're going to put it on top of our deck. That's 3. Then we get to place another card down. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do the Pepple Crow. I want to do the Vanguard Griffin. Yeah, because then we can reveal the top card here. We have a Hyrion Stag. That's so cool. Did you see its ability? You can discard basic cards in your hand and redraw. Wow. We have 1 more charm. Let's go ahead and get rid of 1 of these channelings. Vale here has a Wild Slippery Fellwood Frog, and Luna has a Cyborg Ogden Penguin. I don't think either of them are going to attack this round. I think we're going to try and collect some treasure, run over, and try and attack next round. Vale is our first player. His frog had +1 movement thanks to his salamander, and he's going to push down his stamina by 1 to a -2, so he has a total of 5 movement, because he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and collect a treasure. In case you guys can't tell, I'm all about treasure. Let's see what we get. We have a puppy treat. Before a hero rolls a die in battle, destroy this card to return all puppies from a hero's discard into play. Kind of cool. Luna's going to go ahead and also use 1 stamina, so she gets +1 movement. That's going to give her 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. She is going to collect the final treasure. Let's see what she gets. She has the Woo Woo Jackpot. Immediately destroy this card and draw 2 more treasures. I've never seen that. Cool. Okay, so she gets 2. She gets the Reflex Potion, destroy this card to reroll any die, and she gets Blight Relic. Before a hero rolls a die in battle, destroy this card to deal the enemy they are battling 1 poison. That will end this round, and I think, you guys, I'm going to stop this video here. I'm going to make sure I'm not doing any horrible rule mistakes. That is something I should have noted at the beginning. Turn on your Klingon subtitles. If I've made any mistakes, I'll make sure to mention them on the subtitles through Klingon, so please do that. Also, if I see anything wrong before I record the next video, I'll make sure to mention it at the beginning of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you at the next stop.